Hi, I'm Jake Goodman.
My name is Vera.
I'm Daniel Baton.
And we are the Analog Revolution. We've currently been together as a band for only 2 months.
It's been great. Fun, a lot of creative work.
Been having a lot of fun, and they're really close friends of mine.
The band experience has been great. It's fun. It's a good way to express yourself, to put in your creative ideas into the band, and you get to make some really awesome stuff.
We really haven't determined what we are yet, but it's just kind of like a process of what we want to happen.
All I really know is that we're awesome. Analog is really what they used to record on in the old days. It's like the vintage materials, and it's what happened is a lot of people wouldn't get that perfect, sound today where it's right on beat, everything's perfect. It was good because it had the imperfection. That's what playing music is. It's not always perfect, and so we're trying to bring that back into the game. We're trying to put that human soul back into music.
I'm 17 years old, and I'm a singer.
I stand before you, awed by your majesty.
I play a lot of contemporary Christian music, or just Christian rock music in general. I can find myself playing any type of music a lot of the time. It wasn't until I was around 14 that I got my first instrument, and it was actually a drum set. And soon after that, I got my guitar, and I started playing more and getting more involved in my school band, and I started to just start playing, putting pieces together with different instruments and different friends of mine, and more people would come to me and be drawn to me and ask me about music, and I soon became this musician. And it wasn't, I kind of found myself in the middle of it. I never strived to be a musician until I knew that I had the ability to play a musical instrument or sing.
I'm Draner. I'm 19 years old, and I'm a rapper. When I started writing rhymes, I was originally in 7th grade. I started off writing poetry because I had gotten hip surgery, and I was frustrated a lot because I used to play a lot of sports, and I had to just suddenly stop. So I just had a lot of emotion in me, and a friend of mine was like, "Here, try writing more poetry. Just try this, try that," and I loved it. Then I read one to her one day, and she said, "Read it to this beat." So I read it, and it just went so well, and she decided I was gonna write a rhyme, and it was just a great rap. It worked so well, and then that moment that I read it to her, it kicked in. That was it. That was what I was gonna be doing. That was how I wanted my life to be. That was what I was about. And show people that music is one big conducted family, that can work together in perfect unison. And I just want to bring new elements to the game. And then rapping is just how I'm gonna do it. Rapping's my base, and that's me. That's what I do. And I want to change the game. I want to change music.
I ain't even in this for the fame. It's all about the lyrics and the music and the art. But I gotta say that everything I'm spitting is off of the charts.
It's just a matter of getting out there, just having fun, and people notice that you have fun playing this music. And you know, I didn't join the band so we can get a record label. I joined the band so I can show people the message, the music, you know, the harmony between all the three guys in the band. That's mainly it.
What we usually do is that we always go to my house and we just practice for as long as we can, and it's usually from like, let's say like 11 to 8, and we just try to practice as much as we can. And then most of the time we actually snack on Oreos, but besides from that we actually play a lot.
The Analog Revolution rehearsals for recording / shows, etc. N-word. Yeah.
The hard part about getting together is that, you know, we all live pretty far. Like they live by Davie and stuff, and I live in Weston. So we usually like call them, we try to give them rides if they can't, and we just try to make it possible for them to come. And then we go to my house, and then, you know, we just play for most of the time. And then we take some like breaks, and then we just play again, and we do that on and off throughout the whole entire day for as long as we can.
This is like a group of people that, you know, I wouldn't really be close friends with if I hadn't like had music. You know, like I like choosing my friends who like music because it's like a common passion. And you know, I didn't really know Jamie like too well like until we started playing music. And you know, Danny was never really my friend until I invited him to come to jam with us. And you know, now we all like know each other's personalities, you know, and all of our personalities become compatible into one machine, and that is really the band. And
I think that God had a big deal to do with keeping me involved, keeping me motivated for making music, for creating music. And I think that with prayer and keeping my eyes fixed on His plan for me, I think that's where I get my calling, my motivation to keep going in music, and knowing that this is the right path and I'm going out, the right thing I'm doing. I met a man by the name of Caleb Rios in the 8th grade in Tequesta Trace Middle School, and he started to bring me to, he became my friend. He started to bring me to a church called Save the Nations Church, and I just started to fall in love once I entered the place. I could seriously feel the presence of God there, and with the worship music that they were playing, it was something that I felt attached to, but I didn't know how I would end up, you know, being a part of it. I didn't know if I would even be a part of it. I just was glad to be there.
We started bonding, and then we would hang out after school and stuff like that, and ever since then it's just been awesome.
And that guy, Caleb, he's actually my best friend now till this day. It's like 6 years later, and he's the drummer of the church.
You guys quick to switch your style for 100,000. So to double down, you decide to dumb it down. Even though it goes against everything you represent, you come to the theme that you most resent. You'll do it for an extra cent, you do it in a second.
The hat didn't originate ECAD Drainer, but it's definitely big expression to it. There's Jake Renard and there's Ekaj Draner. Ekaj Draner is actually Jake Renard backwards. I go back and forth, and I just find a good midway point. But just it's so much fun to be able to go back and forth and play with two different kind of egos. It's alter ego, and just go back and forth. It's like I'm constantly playing a game with myself. It's awesome. I was involved in a bunch of stuff that was stupid, and I was just being dumb. But then I started realizing I'm stupid. Like, people I was with, it wasn't right. And growing up really helped me find the style that I would grow to just run with. And growing up writing the rhymes,
no madness. I'd rather feel pain and sadness.
And it's helped the actual lyrical content. It helped my mindset. It's helped my music as a whole. And just hip-hop has raised me. 7th grade, I got hip surgery, and I used to play lacrosse, very active kid. And then to get two big screws just driven into my hip, preventing me from all that, it kind of, like, I felt like I was gonna go insane. I know what to do with myself. Then that's how the rhyming came about. That's how this life that I've created for myself came about.
Appreciating every day while you have it, cause in the end the only thing promised is a casket. Can't properly prosper out of a picnic basket, fading into blackness, having so many habits, it's tragic. Spending all your cabbage on some extra baggage. Life's a freaking deal breaker, how you gonna manage? You try to help out, but all you're doing is damage. You ain't a man if you're walking away empty-handed.
The biggest struggle that we have is being taken seriously, because since we're young, people feel like we're not necessarily good enough to do anything, or like to go to gigs or do stuff like that.
Well, being a kid, obviously, it's gonna be harder to get known, I guess, just by playing gigs, because you're a kid. There's not much you can do.
When you go to these places to try and do serious things for your band, they all look at you like you're like one of those teeny bopper bands, and it's really difficult to do things when you're being treated like, I mean, I know we're younger than 18, but it's still really difficult, going into these places and you can't play because you're not 18 or over, and going to studios and they trying to rip you off because you're not as educated about how you should be, and it's just really hard to be a kid in the music business.
The studio that we were planning to go to, I think that they were gonna kind of charge us a lot and do all these things just because we're kids. So they think that we're gonna fall for these things because they were charging us way too much and giving us really little time, and they weren't prepared enough. So I guess they just kind of thinking, oh, they're kids, whatever, charge them whatever they want, they'll fall for it.
I remember growing up as a kid and seeing my parents being the perfect couple, and that's all I knew about my parents. And I saw all my friends and their parents were breaking up, and I thought to myself, well, that would never happen to me. I know how my parents are, and I can remember asking my mom if she would ever break up with my dad, or ever, if that would even be a possibility, and she assured me that would never happen. And I can just always remember that being stuck in my mind. But one day during middle school, I was going to Indian Ridge Middle School, and on the way to dropping me off, my mom tells me, listen, we need to talk. And I'm like, talk about what? And she tells me that she's thinking of leaving my dad, and I couldn't help but burst into tears. It was probably the roughest time in my life. When they did, I was around the age of 13, I think, and I can just remember them sitting my sister down, and I didn't want to hear it, so I left, and I stormed out as a kid. I stormed out I kind of ran down the street and just wanted to be alone. But as I'm sitting there on the sidewalk, I hear this calling, this voice in my head, and it's telling me it's okay, it's okay. It doesn't, you don't have to feel sorrow or grief. It's you're gonna move past this, you're gonna overcome this, and you're gonna be a living testimony for other people. And that really, I was like wondering what was this feeling, what was going on. Like, I didn't understand what was being said to me, but I just wanted to block it out. But at the same time, I opened myself up to it because I thought this can be good for me. I don't have to grieve over something that I couldn't control. And so I believe that voice was God moving me, telling me, you know, you can pick yourself up after this, you can move through this. And after that is when I started to get more involved in church, and soon found music after that.
I was thinking, compare your olive.
I think music definitely did ease me through going through my parents' divorce. It was a way to escape in a way, but at the same time, I knew I didn't have to escape, because I gotta face my problems, and music helped me not just escape but face my problems.
I was just doing some things that weren't right, that kind of took over my life, and I let it take over when I knew I shouldn't. I just realized it was dumb. I finally had that epiphany the day my best friend died. He was killed by another friend of ours, and that really made me, really just showed me that it could have been me. It was supposed to be me, but my best friend, he was there for me no matter what. He gave his life for me. He and I used to go to the beach a lot, and that was one of the places we used to go and just rhyme, and we used to just sit and relax and just stare out at the ocean and let our minds run free. The beach was a spot we went after all the day struggle, after all the BS, after everything that we had to go through. Just that was I guess you could call it our happy place. To this day, the beach is just means so much to me. Any beach, anywhere there's sand and water. It always reminds me of him every time I go. His death really just allowed me to start growing up for real. It allowed me to change everything, So now I have two worlds on my shoulders, not just my world, but I have his world as well. I have his legacy, and I'm continuing it. No matter what BS life has to throw at me, no matter what struggles I'm gonna go through, because I know there's a million more to come, and a million more after that, and so on and so forth. Music's gonna get me through it.
Nothing's worth it if you don't struggle for it.
Music helped me not just escape, but face my problems.
It's me. It's who I am, and that's not gonna change.
There are many paths in life,
but music is ours.
No matter where it takes me.
Me and all my friends, we're all misunderstood. Say we stand for nothing, and there's no way we ever could. Everything that's going wrong in this world and those who need it, feel like we don't have the means to rise above and beat it. We keep on waiting, waiting on the world to change. Keep on waiting on the world to change.
When I look at you, I'm stunned in perfection, cause you don't know you're beautiful one direction. You bring butterflies to my stomach. I rise to a summit, swallow my heart and dive to a plummet. Growing apart to get closer ain't how it works, but you try it anyway and realizing how it hurts. So you gotta say goodbye, go with the turn of things, make today your own.
Yeah,
waiting on the world to change.
Waiting on the world to change. on waiting, waiting on the world to change.
Mm.